All right. Well, thank you very much. I'd like to thank you, the Chamber, Randy, Travis, and for giving us this opportunity to talk about Frontier Natural Gas. I'm going to touch on the history a little bit, some of our current plans, and how we've addressed the COVID-19. And certainly when as I move through this, if somebody has any questions, please put them in the chat box. I can answer them as we go, or at the end, however you'd like to do it. As Randy said, I am the president of Frontier. I'm Fred Steele. I've been with Frontier Natural Gas now for a little over 6 years. I am actually a CPA and have been blessed to spend my entire career working in the energy industry. With me today, joining me on this, I have Kim Carter and Ted Gamble from our marketing and engineering departments. Kim has been with Frontier for 9 years, and Ted has been with us for 11 years. I asked them both to join me today from these departments because they represent an integral part of what Frontier does within the community involvement and some of our growth plans. As we walk through some of the things I'm going to talk about, they probably could answer the questions probably much better than I can. Kim she's responsible for identifying areas of expansion of our natural gas pipelines. She organizes and attends the community meetings with the residential and commercial customers. She works on obtaining customer agreements. She also serves on the board of directors for the Yadkin United Fund and the Yadkin Valley Chamber of Commerce. Some of Ted's responsibilities: he is responsible for designing the projects that Kim identifies for expansion. He assists with forecasting and making the projections we need for our natural gas purchases on a daily basis. This is something we have to look at on a daily basis. He also, in addition to that, Ted is very handy on the IT side, helps us with all of our tech issues, and we're blessed to have both of these people in our organization. Ted also serves on a GIS committee for the Southern Gas Association, which Frontier is a member of, and the Carolina Public Gas Association, which serves both North and South Carolina. As far as the history goes, I thought I'd just touch on it briefly. Frontier was organized by a couple of entrepreneurial type individuals back in late 1997. They were actually formed in 1998. Frontier Natural Gas is certificated to operate as a regulated utility under the North Carolina Utility Commission as a natural gas utility. We operate in 6 counties. We're in Surry, Yadkin, Wilkes, Watauga, Ashe, and Warren. We serve 11 communities within those particular counties, and have other communities we've yet to been able to lay natural gas pipeline to. Originally, the company built approximately 139 miles of steel transmission. This is made up of 10, 6, 4, and 2-inch pipeline. We have roughly 550 miles of PE, plastic, polyethylene, plastic pipe that we've installed. We currently have about 4,300 customers. Probably the next number, you said we've spent millions of dollars. I actually looked it up last night to see approximately what it was. Frontier Natural Gas has invested $167 million in these 6 counties in infrastructure since 1998. I was a little surprised myself. I just had to look to see. I knew it was well in excess of 150 million, but we've invested $167 million in these counties. And this is just primarily infrastructure. We have a long way to go as far as continuing to reach out to customers who would like to have natural gas. Currently, we have 36 employees. All of these employees, but one, are from the counties in which we serve. And unfortunately, the one that's speaking is the one that's not from North Carolina, but I love it here. So again, I said I am a licensed CPA in both Ohio and North Carolina. We currently have 11 people working in the office, and 25 people work in our field operations. These people that serve in the field are technicians. We have construction crews. We like to do most of our construction internally with our crews if we can. We periodically do have to use construction firms other than our own crews to do that. But the firms that we use are mostly North and South Carolina-based firms. We have used one from Georgia at time to time. Frontier itself, we are a subsidiary of Hearthstone Utilities, Inc. Hearthstone, we operate in Ohio, Montana, Maine, Indiana. Our parent company, or our stakeholder, who actually owns Hearthstone, is one of the BlackRock infrastructure funds. And I think a lot of people have heard of BlackRock. They manage roughly $7.4 trillion worth of assets. We have a lot of reports that are due to them on a monthly, quarterly, yearly basis. They're very involved in looking at what we would like to do as far as our future plans, what we've done. I really envision BlackRock spending additional funds or wanting us to spend additional funds to actually grow the utility even at a faster rate than what we have. Currently, we spend anywhere from 4 to 5. We have touched $6 million on an annual basis, and recently, since I've been here, on an annual basis in putting in new infrastructure. I thought I'd touch a little bit on the community involvement. Again, we're happy to be a member of the chamber, but we're a member of each chamber in each county in which we operate in. So we have 6 different chambers that we participate in. So it spreads us a little bit thin at times as far as being able to participate in all the activities you have. Kim does a wonderful job in doing that. I try to help her out, as do all the employees at Frontier. That's one of the things most of you looking at me can tell I'm a little bit older, a little bit tireder, so I do encourage the younger folks to participate, and we've been doing a pretty good job of getting them involved in these various activities within the chambers. We're also a member of the economic development boards in each of these counties. We work very closely with the Surrey Economic Development folks and Todd and his team. We've got a lot of projects we've worked on and continue to work on with them. Recently, because of the COVID, our parent company, Hearthstone and BlackRock, asked us, what are each of the divisions doing within your particular division to help within your community. We, over the last 60 days, have reached out to various charitable organizations. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we have spent or contributed approximately $13,000 to various organizations. If you go to our Facebook page, there's pictures of the various checks that we've delivered to food banks. We've helped some of the schools with their backpack programs. And we've done that. One of the schools, or a couple of schools, what we've done is we've purchased certificates for them to put in the backpacks from some of the local restaurants, and those certificates again go into the backpack, and as they're redeemed, we pay the local vendors for the redemption of the certificates. So that's worked out pretty well. Now, the other thing we did on May 15th, which we enjoyed, we actually worked with Stone Throw Ministries. We prepared approximately 620 meals. We did that with our employees in the Stone's Throw Ministry folks. They do this on a regular basis. So we worked with them to prepare the meals, had a drive-through here. I believe we delivered about 370 of those, and the rest of them were people that drove through. And again, I want to say 95% of the supplies that we utilized in that on that particular day came from local vendors. We tried really, really hard to make sure that everything we purchased came from somebody locally. As far as the COVID-19, because we are considered an essential business, we're required to have employees on call 24/7, 365 days a year to respond to emergencies. We had to develop a plan for the North Carolina Pipeline Safety Group, which we presented to them, plus as well as Hearthstone and BlackRock. They wanted to see how we were going to handle the pandemic and how we were going to respond to it. I think we've done a pretty good job. We actually closed our offices to the public, to family members, and to third-party vendors on March 12th. We've had 6 people working from home that were in the office. 5 of us have remained in the office working. We've had a couple close calls. We've had to have some of our employees were exposed in the Boone area. And fortunately, we haven't had anybody who's tested positive to date, but we have had to quarantine people under that period, during that, for a 2-week period. We've done that a couple different times with people because of the exposure that we have technicians who are out, and when they're out, they run into people and have been exposed, and we've been notified, and in turn, we've sent them for tests. But we've followed the federal, state, and local laws. I think we've done a pretty good job of that at this point in time. We are concerned about going forward, how we're going to deal with it. We're making some changes to our lobby area currently to when we do reopen to the public. how much, before people could walk in and pretty much had the run of the office. We're probably going to limit that going forward. Again, we're probably going to limit the number of meetings we have in the office. We don't have a large workforce. So a couple of weeks ago, one of our employees was exposed. Ultimately, it could have sent everybody in the office home. Fortunately, came back a negative test, but we did quarantine that person for 2 weeks. I mean, like I say quarantine, they just are working remotely. So what we've done with our field employees, it's actually worked out pretty well. Originally, or before this COVID-19, we had everybody, as far as the field people here, working out of the Elkin office. We do have a Deep Gap office, and we have one in Warrenton as well. When I say office, they're field offices. But we had the people working out of the Elkin office report to the warehouse in the morning. And since the COVID-19, since March 12th, we've dispatched those people directly to their job sites in the morning. And it's worked out extremely well. So well, I think we've gotten quite a bit done. I think we're probably going to stay with this process going forward. It's working. I think it's working well. I think we're going to continue to dispatch our people directly to their job sites, both from a construction standpoint and from a compliance standpoint on a daily basis. The materials have been delivered to the job sites, where they come by here early in the morning and pick them up before they go. We try to space that out so the people picking up materials that are needed are not all here at the same time. We deliver a lot of their job packets to them on